Hi folks, Punky Panetto here. I wanted to do a small video on Medicare ratings of skilled care and assisted living facilities. This is information you can get off the Medicare.gov website. My mother had to have hip surgery about 6 months ago, and we put her in a facility that was only rated 2 stars, and at that time I did not even know there was a rating system. So when she had to go back for hip surgery again, I decided let's try to find something a little bit better. So we looked for a 5-star facility, which I found on the Medicare.gov website. So if you log on to the computer and onto this website, on the lower left hand side you'll see the word nursing homes. If you click on the word nursing homes, it will bring you up to a page where you can put in like the city or area that you'd like to find a nursing home, and it gives you those ratings. So I picked Venice, Florida, because that was close to the hospital and somewhere in between the hospital and my parents' home. It'll bring up several selections, 2 of which were in Venice and 1 was close to Venice but was not in Venice. So the choice was Village on the Isle and Harbor Chase. Both had 5 stars, and as you can see, Harbor Chase of Venice was much above average. So I thought this is a good place to send my mom for rehabilitation. There's also another website called Find the Best. I'm not sure where they get their information from. It could be from the same website or they conduct their own studies. I'm not quite sure. But in this website they gave Harbor Chase an 81, which was one of the highest of the facilities in the Venice area. I also noticed that on the U.S. News and World Report they do a rating every year, and for 2014 Harbor Chase of Venice received 5 stars. There's a newspaper called the Venice Gondolier Sun, and every year they rate the best of Venice. This year Harbor Chase won first place, and as you can see they put ribbons up all over the place to celebrate that they won first place, best of Venice, and they have those ribbons at the entranceways to let everybody know that they won first place. So I was very happy that I picked what I thought was a very, very good facility. When I walked in the door, the first thing I noticed was they have Perel dispensers for hand sanitation, and I think that's excellent. I love to see that. The only thing that kind of took me back is that on the bottom there were bugs, and it wasn't so bad. You're going to get bugs, especially when it's near the entrance, but those bugs, and the same bugs, because I took pictures, were there for about 10 days. Nobody's cleaning them. In the men's room, in the light fixtures, a bug never cleaned, which isn't uncommon, and I'm not really criticizing them too much about that, but I just started seeing a lot of things that kind of upset me. Outside they have a court area in between the buildings, and you can go out there. Not too many people go out there, but the trash was overflowing, and that's not just from one day. That's been there for a long time. They also have a cat that wanders throughout the facility, and it's like a pet cat. It goes into any room it wants to. It jumps up on the beds, and some of the people really love the cat, and it's good for older people. Sometimes they bring in dogs and things like that, but this cat lives there. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to cats. I don't know how many other people are allergic to cats, but to have a cat there and not warn people ahead of time that, hey, you know, there is a cat that might wander through our facility, I think that's kind of strange, especially when it's allowed to jump up on the beds and snuggle along patients and so on. In fact, one person did not want the cat in their room, and they had to keep the door closed the whole time. They actually put a sign on the door, please keep door closed, keep cat out. So that person was somewhat confined because of that cat and could not open their door. In my mom's room, I noticed that there were a lot of cobwebs in around the windowsill areas, and you'd think when a new patient comes in they'd go through the room and kind of clean it up for the next patient, clean out the, you know, make sure there's no cobwebs. Those cobwebs weren't there after just one day or 1 week. Those things have been in there for a long time. So that kind of was got me perturbed a little bit. If you look and you walk through the aisles and the hallways, you'll see the ventilation system. You'll see a lot of like dirt and grime out near the vents and near the fire suppression system. I thought that was kind of strange that hadn't been cleaned, and especially around the fire suppression systems. I mean, they're up in the ceiling, and to have sticky dirt, dust, or whatever it is up there, I just think that's weird. That it's up in that location. Even around the outlet covers, there seems to be a lot of mold or dust or dirt. I'm not quite sure. I usually don't see that too often. Why it's on those outlet covers, I don't know. I have a house. I've never ever cleaned or dusted my outlet covers to begin with, so it's kind of strange that I see that amount of dirt and dust. So it's kind of has to be concerned about what the ventilation system is like and what's blowing through the air. If you look at the floor, and this is in the dining area, all those dots on the floor, that is not dirt. That's part of the design of the wood floor. But around the edges, and it's not real good on this picture, you can see a lot of where they kind of walked in, they mopped the floor, but they didn't mop it well. They didn't mop around the edges. Now the facility is totally full of carpet. There's carpet in the aisleways, hallways. Each room has carpet in it, and there's stains everywhere. Now I can tell you a story of my mother's on several occasions when they were pulling the bedpan out from underneath her. Some of the urine went on the floor and into the carpet. Not quite sure what they did to clean it up, but I know my mom complained about the urine smell all the time, and she did have somebody try to come in and clean it. But it just, I mean, you're talking people dropping water, beverages, urine, and throughout the facility. It really, really did smell, and that it was kind of disgusting. You have people that work there 40 hours a week or 8 hours a day or whatever, and they're smelling it and breathing it all the time. I'm not sure how they can do that. And then you have the people that are living there 24 hours a day, sleeping and breathing whatever's in the air. To me, it's just it was very, very disgusting. I don't know how you can have carpet in a medical type facility and keep the place clean. It just doesn't make any sense. So I was concerned about mold, and I went out and got one of those Pro Lab mold tests. You can get them at Lowe's, you can get them at Home Depot, and it costs like about $9 or so on just to buy the kit. And I got the kit set up, and I decided I was going to put that thing beside my mother's bed for 1 hour, is how you're supposed to do it. Then you seal it up, and then you let it set for a certain period of time to see what happens. After 24 hours, nothing really happened. I didn't see anything, but after 48 hours, I started to see these spots show up. And then after 72 hours, things got a little bit bigger, a lot of dark spots. I'm not sure the exact color, brown or black or whatever, and what those things are, but that's after 72 hours. And this is just what they call is a test called a settling test, where you just open up the petri dish and just let it, whatever's in the air, it just kind of gathers in this petri dish. This is after 96 hours. Everything's getting bigger and bigger, a lot more spots, different size spots. So after 96 hours, they say that if you start to see things in the petri dish, then you can ship it to Pro Lab and have it analyzed, which costs about $40 to do that. So I did that. I packaged it up and sent it to the lab, just to see exactly what was in the air, what my mom's breathing, what all the employees are breathing. So I got the lab test back after approximately a week. It came back on, I sent it in, or they received it on April 24th, and I got the results on May 5th. And it shows, and I put Harbor Chase of Venice, because that's what I did. And what the report is, a several page report, and what came up was two things, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, but Kaleidosporum was one of the molds in yeast. Now to me, I saw a lot more things in that petri dish than what they're showing, so I'm actually having it reanalyzed again, I hope, to see if there's other information. But cladosporum is it's a common type of spore in the air. It's worldwide, and it grows on dead or dying plants, food, straw. But it's also a common cause of extrinsic asthma, if I pronounce that right. So it is a concern. And then yeast. There was some yeast in the air. Doesn't seem to be a major problem, but I just wanted to point that out, that there was some yeast in the air. Now, as far as is there anything dangerous, it's that unusual mold conditions. It said no dangerous unusual mold conditions, and I guess what they're looking for, because this mold test is designed for looking for real dangerous molds like your black molds that you might find in a basement or home. Again, I didn't do this video to rate Harbor Chase. I did the video to rate the Medicare.gov website rating system of the assisted living skilled care facilities. I mean, when I see 5 stars, I expect 5 stars. Harbor Chase overall, they have great people, great staff, rehabilitation crew is fabulous. They have a lot of fun activities for the people. They just need to improve their sanitation, in my opinion. Remove the carpets. I don't think there should be carpets in a facility, especially when people could be spilling bodily fluids, foods, medications, who knows what, and you have people there that are on respirators, and it just isn't a good thing in my opinion. So I really hope that Medicare looks and listens to what I have to say, and they adjust their website on the star system, the rating system, to make some improvements so that other facilities around the United States can be rated properly as to where they really should be. Again, thanks again for watching my video. Good night.